Here I am, climbing up, feeling great, getting love. Here I go, risk it all, be worth it now, and that's for sure. Watch me as I Rocketeer.
Episode 42 of Fight Talk Down Under is brought to you by CMBT Nutrition. Go to cmbt.com.au, use the promo code Justin for 10% off at the checkout. Of course, we all love CMBT. There you go. Lockjaw's all ready for this one. He's equipped. So, go and see our friends at CMBT for all your protein powder, protein bars, pre-workout, and whatever that drink was that Lockjaw's got there. Of course, remember cmbt.com.au, promo code Justin for 10% off at the checkout. We're also brought to you by Nutcare. Guys, the fact is that 83% of penile injuries involve a razor, but it doesn't have to be this way. Bear Nuts hair removal cream is easier and much safer than shaving and far less painful and time-consuming than waxing. So join the grooming revolution. Go to nutcare.com.au, use the promo code FIGHTNEWS for 10% off at the checkout. That's nutcare.com.au, promo code FIGHTNEWS. All right, welcome everyone. Of course, I'm Dan Meehan from Fight News Australia and One Championship. We've got a fair bit to cover off this week. We're going to cover off Beatdown Promotions 4. We've got Jacinta Austin just had a big win over the weekend. We've got a couple of Aussies in action in the UFC, bit of PFL news, Tim Tszyu, fair bit to cover off. So we may as well bring in the featherweight champion, eternal featherweight champion, Lockjaw Justin Van Heerden. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good. Yeah, obviously we've got a lot to cover there, a lot to go into, so that's always good. We like seeing what's happening on the combat sports scene, seeing the Aussies get amongst it, and yeah, no, it's cool. I'm excited to break it all down.
Yeah, definitely getting amongst it. There's plenty to report, and it's a bit of a mixed bag this week. We've got some bit of interesting stuff to talk about, probably on the back end of this one. So make sure you stay tuned for some discussion there. But we'll start off with Beatdown Promotions 4. It's on this weekend. We've got Paul Logar in the main event. Where is the card? Here we go. Paul Logar up against Shane Parker. Got Jack James is taking on a Japanese fighter. Some other sort of Shem Murdoch is obviously an experienced fighter on the Aussie scene as well. But what do you make of the card overall, and what should fans be looking out for?
Yeah, there's still some good fights to watch on the card, obviously. You got to tune in, especially some of the amateur fights. You got to get in, support these shows, get behind these fighters, because before you know it, they're going to turn pro and they're going to be building up. And then, it's not long for some of them then they're gone and they're moved on to bigger and brighter things. And then you're going to be kicking yourself saying, oh, I could have watched that dude fight live. So, regardless to watch the show. But in terms of the cards we've been given so far from Beatdown, this one's pretty lackluster, if I'm honest. We've had some of the cards that Beatdown's put together up until this point since their first card, and even the last one. The fights have been. I'm not saying these fights aren't going to be good, but there's been some stacked cards. So I think they've exposed us to a standard, and now they've kind of it's not really hitting the mark, this card. I don't know whether that's just because fighters were unavailable. They couldn't put fights together. Obviously, they lost Stanoff versus O'Brien because Stanoff has a neck injury, so he's out of that fight recovering. So that's obviously an exciting gangbusters fight of the night type fight that fell through. So I mean, I don't know, but that happens, right? But look at some of the other shows, some of the other cards that we've seen over the especially the last 18 months. Some of these cards, you look at them and they might not be stacked with heaps of, I guess, household names or people that we've come to see, but then they've just been absolute bangers and the fights have been crazy. So I'm still excited to watch it. I'm still excited to see what happens. But in terms of the amount of stacked talent that we're used to seeing on Beatdown, it's probably dropped down a little bit. But I mean, I guess that's fight promotion. That's the business. Sometimes, things aren't going to always stack up how they're meant to. But regardless, there's still fights and there's still, a show that's happening in the Aussie combat scene. So we need to get behind it. But I don't know. Not really too keen on watching Paul Logar fight. I don't know. I don't really get excited when that guy fights anymore. I used to when he was. I don't know. He just had I don't know what happened, but I used to get excited to see Paul Logar's name on a card. Now I just get sad when I see his name on a card. So I don't really. Yeah. nothing against Paul. He's a nice dude. He's always been cool with me, but I don't know. Yeah. I'm just not excited, Dan. I'm not excited, but hopefully they prove me wrong and they put on an exciting show. But for sure, when Jack James isn't, fighting, and that's an exciting matchup. They got him an international opponent, so that's cool. I'm excited to see stuff like that. I like that more and more people are getting some opportunities to fight international fighters right here in Australia. That's always good to see. So, yeah. But, I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's the best card that we've ever seen. I hope there's a bunch of finishes. I hope people knock each other the fuck out, submit people, and it's just crazy, violent, and exciting from a fan perspective.
Yeah, I think you're kind of spot on there, aren't you? Like you say, a lot of the cards that probably don't look as stacked on paper often end up being bangers. There's still plenty of talent in Aussie MMA, so I'm sure we'll get some exciting fights there. But on paper it doesn't look nearly as stacked. I mean, one of the I guess one of the sort of key things that were put forward when Beatdown Promotions started was that they were wanting to bring international talent to Australia. And it seems like this card is probably a little bit of a departure from that. Obviously, they've got Jack James' opponent from Japan, and it looks like he's got a decent record. He's fought in some, he's 3-1. He's fought in some decent promotions there. But there's just not sort of that much of the sort of international flavour this time. Do you feel like it might be, I guess, the reality of the cost of bringing fighters from overseas, or is it just Eternal and Hex are kind of sweeping the pool of Aussie talent? Like, where do you, I guess, what's your gut feel with a card like this?
Yeah, it's a combination of things. There's probably all of that combined. Like, obviously, like I said, and I'm not trying to knock come across like I'm being like knock Beatdown or anything like that. Like, I think it's a cool show that looks very cool. The production looks cool. People I've talked to that have fought for them said it's been nothing but awesome, and they really know how to look after people. But I think that's just a normal thing, right? If you get exposed to a certain expectation of something, and then the next thing isn't exactly the same, it's normal and natural to kind of be like, oh, what the hell? Like, this isn't what I'm used to, seeing. So like we sort of said, there's been some stacked cards that they've done already with some Aussie talent on there, and then obviously some international opponents and stuff like that, etc. So I guess that's just a normal sort of thing. You're kind of when you see Beatdowns announcing their next event, you're kind of expecting that. You're like, oh, this is going to be, this is going to be crazy. But no, I'm still hoping. Like I said, I really want it to be still an awesome card. I'm sure it's going to be. I'm sure there's still going to be exciting fights. Like, at the end of the day, there's people getting in a cage with 4-ounce gloves on, so there's potential for anything to happen. It's going to be awesome. And obviously, I'm still going to watch it. Like, I'm still going to watch it. I'm still going to be tuned in. Like, it's not like I'm just going to go like, oh, fuck that. I'm not going to watch it. Like, I'm still going to be there. I'm still going to get involved. I'm excited, but I think it's a combination of things, right? There's other shows that are snapping up fighters. And then you're going to see that. You're always going to see that on, you're going to see some matchups that might look a bit sketchy, or not sketchy, but like might look a bit like weird on paper. And you're kind of like, oh, I don't know what to expect here, but then they end up being like really cool fights. So, we'll just have to see. But I think it's a combination of things. And obviously, fight promotion is such a hard gig, man. So I can't imagine the stuff that people have to deal with. You got fighters getting injured. You got probably, visa issues. You got, people pulling out because they booked themselves a fight and then realize that, oh, this is a dangerous fight. I don't want to have this fight anymore, because fighters that actually stick to what they want to do and fight these tough fights are few and far between. Abdallah, this for you. So it's like... I don't know. I'm happy that my job is to just be a fighter, and I just show up, do a training camp, get in there and fight, because fuck dealing with all this, man. Fuck dealing with injuries and cards falling through, venues pulling out, flights not happening, people not making weight. Like, the whole, man, that's a lot of stress, and I'm happy I don't have to deal with it. I'm glad you and I just sit back and talk about it.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm happy to just be talking and writing things about fights, because, like you say, that's a tough gig. Like you're never sort of guaranteed a fight in this sport until that cage door closes and both men are in there. Like, we've seen fights like in the UFC just get cancelled half an hour before they're supposed to walk to the cage. Obviously the weigh-ins, there's often issues in weigh-ins with some of the weight cuts and stuff like that these guys sort of put themselves through. So it's a tough caper. It's certainly not we're certainly not sitting here and being critical, but I mean, the Eaton's Hill Hotel looks a pretty sick venue as well. Have you been there? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like on the So like on the streams, it looks awesome. Like it has this sort of like old school boxing vibe, really, with
Yeah.
the, like the tables around and sort of the, it's kind of like it's in a casino. Have you been there before?
No, yeah, it's a real cool venue. I've been there for a boxing event, and then I've been there to see like a couple of bands and musicians and that sort of do stuff. But it's a sick venue. So it's set up like real good. It gives me a very similar vibe to the pavilion in Melbourne. Like it's real cool, and especially with this, the sections up top and stuff like that. Like it feels like everyone's like right on top. I'd imagine in the cage it'd feel like everyone's like right on top of you, like right there. And it's just that same sort of feel you get at like the Southport Sharks or the pavilion and that, like just really cool places to fight in.
Yeah, something about a like an intimate venue like that, isn't it? Where you can really sort of really feel close to it. If you're close to the action, you can kind of see and hear the sort of the strikes landing and the I guess the grunts as the fighters are in there banging on.
Yeah, 100%. That's always going to be cool, and that's something I think like I always touch on. Like as you progress through the sport, you're probably going to miss that, right? When, one day when you're fighting in front of thousands of people, you're probably going to miss just fighting inside a place like that with a couple hundred people, or a couple, or like a 1,000 people just sort of right on top of you, and you can hear everything and see everything, and you're probably going to miss that feeling because it is a pretty sick feeling to fight in those sort of environments.
Yeah, that's it. Will you really miss that when if you're fighting at Etihad Stadium or something like that, in front of 50,000 people, you're going to be like, yeah, geez, I miss the old days of...
well, obviously that's going to be sick, but I was talking to Malaki about this the other day, and he said that. He said, yeah, he's like, as cool as it is to fight in front of thousands of people in a stadium, he was like, I just miss, the old, like, just, I prefer the Apex. Like, it reminds me of just fighting at a pub when I was coming up on the regional scene, and I kind of just miss that. So I was like, that's kind of, yeah, that makes sense. You kind of would.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, isn't it? How you sort of, you aspire to, fighting on the big stage in front of all these people, but really, you sort of learn to appreciate the, the things that you did on the come up when you were fighting in a pub for $500.
I mean, did they get a loan out to pay you that much? Because I don't know. Yeah, you're probably gonna. Yeah, you'll probably miss that.
Maybe a drink card on the way in the cage. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they'll shout you Maccas on the way home. Nah, it's yeah. I think you'll. Yeah, it's these. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you got an opportunity to go to these types of shows and you live where they are and you can attend these events, like you got to do it because it's something that you got to just get in and get behind because it's a sick experience.
Yeah, and I guess if one of the fighters that you see sort of goes on to do big things, and you'll be able to look back and say, hey, like I saw this guy, punching on, I was meters away when he was punching on with someone, before anyone knew who he was. So yeah, there's that too. Yeah, no, 100%. There's probably the opportunity to create some really cool memories before someone becomes like a global superstar. Definitely, and someone who's gone global is Jacinta Austin. Of course, she's gone and fought over in, I think it was Germany, for Octagon MMA over the weekend, and she's gone and pulled off the win over Sofia Bargashvili, who was 8-3 going into the fight. Jacinta now climbs to 5-1. She was coming off the loss on, I think it was the UAE Warriors, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did I make that up? Yeah. So now she's back on track. She's got the win overseas, and she's she's on her way. So what did you make of her performance? Yeah, it was flawless. Come out, just got the win. First round, sub, done, in there, quick, just flew to Germany, did her job, punched her time card real quick, did her work and got out of there. And now she's going back in September and fighting for the vacant strawweight title. So, she's killing it. She's flying the Aussie flag, fighting overseas. So you can't be mad about that. And, like you sort of said, she's got, like, immediately bounced back into the win column now. She's kind of, her record is in a really good place. She's fought like top caliber people. So, she's killing it. She's on the right track. So if she goes out there, wins this strawweight title, we could be seeing her moving on to some bigger and better things post September. Yeah, I was going to say this Octagon MMA promotion has bobbed up a few times. We've seen a few Aussies go over there of recent times. Do you think this is the sort of platform that could get Jacinta to, the next step, whichever sort of global promotion that might be? Yeah, 100%. It's one of those things where they've got a lot of backing behind them. It's big. The production value is insane. Like, there's a lot of eyes on it. Being that it's in Europe, the only real, I guess, other two promotions that kind of jump ahead of you at the moment would be like maybe KSW and like
Cage Warriors. That's probably, the ones that are sort of still the leading ones. But I imagine fighting on something like Octagon, you're going to have the opportunity to have some eyeballs on you, and you might even potentially be able to branch off that and get a fight on one of those other promotions, because people are obviously going to be seeing you and going, like, you're exposed to a whole new audience and a whole new range of people, being that it's in Europe. But nah, like 100%, like one of the announcers and people involved with Octagon, Brian Lacey, is actually a guy I met when I fought back in the day on ACB. And he tells me all the time about how insane it is and how cool the shows are and how well they look after the fighters and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, just another cool thing to see. It's what we want to hear. It's what we want to see. So, obviously, Jacinta going over there and doing as well as she did, it's just going to have that door open for some other up-and-coming Australian fighters that might, give them an opportunity to get some international experience, right? And especially, like female pros, obviously the fights are few and far between in Australia. And unless you just run it back with the same couple of people over and over, like this is going to be a cool way to sort of keep branching out. I mean, we've seen that with UAE Warriors, with like Jacinta, Amina, and that going over to these sort of promotions. It's just a benefit, right? If you see an Aussie go overseas and fight on any international promotions or any other sort of places and they do well, it's just going to assist everyone else. It's just going to give other people a potential opportunity to go there and do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it opens up that pathway, doesn't it? So, I guess where does Jacinta sit? Like, she's 5-1 now. Do you think, she's 28 years old? Do you think she's ready for the big stage now? If she wins this title in September, 6-1, is she a ready-made talent now, or do you think she needs a little bit longer?
I reckon if she goes out there and wins that title in September, she should get a shot at the next big thing. Whether that's the Contender Series or the UFC or PFL or whatever she wants to do, whatever her and her team and management decide. But I definitely think she'd be ready for that next level. I mean, she's obviously very talented. Her only loss was on UAE Warriors now, and that was I believe that was a decision. I don't remember it being a finish. I think it was a decision loss, if I'm not wrong. And then split decision, and I remember it being like a competitive fight too. So, like I said, like she's obviously, she's fought some tough people. She's got a win over the number 1 ranked female fighter in the region. So she's got a few feathers in her cap now. She goes out there and gets this title for Octagon, and then that puts you in a really good spot, man. Like at the end of the day, you just got to be active. You got to be fighting. You got to be winning. And then if you're finishing fights too, and you're stepping in there and you're doing it, often, like that's all things that are going to help you, right? Like, I don't see the point in just sitting around and racking up a couple of wins and then just sitting on your record and waiting for something to happen. And that's what I appreciate about what she's done. She got that, went to UA Warriors, didn't go her way. Now she's like gone straight back into something else, and she's just, in the cage after her fight, they did the face off and prepping the fight or selling the fight for September already for the title. So that's what you got to do. That's what I like to see. So it's all things that are going to benefit her, but 100% I think she'd be deserving of something cool. She probably is right now, but especially if she goes out there and takes this title in September.
Yeah, definitely. And the opponent, just sort of looking up as we go, the opponent is Katarina De Silva, who's 9-3. She's from Germany. She's on a 4-fight win streak. There's a win over Mallory Martin, who fought in the UFC. That's a name I recognise there. She's won 3 in a row with Octagon. So fought in Bellator, had a loss in 2021. So it's going to be that'll be an interesting test. It looks like she's experienced. So it'll be that's I guess that's the sort of test that someone like Jacinta needs to take on, isn't it, before she sort of makes the leap to the next level.
Yeah, 100%. Like she's obviously not a slouch. Like I saw, someone like De Silva shouting this girl out a couple of years ago, like talking about how good she is. So, if there's people that are like obviously at a top level that have competed at a top level, and he's like a pioneer of the sport in that country. So, if someone like that's giving you props, then you must be doing something right. So, this is a cool fight for Jacinta, and I'm excited. to see her go out there and do her thing.
Yeah, hopefully she's not on the same supplement regime as De Silva as well.
Yeah. There's always we'll get into more of that later.
we will. Yeah. That would actually have been a good segue. But I was going to cover off a couple of other things before we get there.
Brilliant.
But yeah, well, look, we've got a couple of Aussies in action in the UFC this weekend, so I thought we'd sort of have a chat about those. Justin Tafa, of course, is in action. It's UFC's Emmett versus Topuria is the main event. We've got Justin Tafa taking on Austin Lane. Obviously, Tafa's coming off 2 straight knockouts. He's been doing what he does, you know. Austin Lane's on a 6-fight win streak. It's his UFC debut after a knockout win on the Contender Series. Interestingly, he did lose to Greg Hardy on the Contender Series back in 2018 when you sort of dig into his record there. But 6-fight win streak. It's going to be an interesting test for Justin Tafa.
It's just the heavyweights getting in there and banging it out. It's going to be who lands first. And if you look back to February, Tafa landed first, and he just, he puts people out. He's a beast, man. He obviously must hit like a truck, and he's a big man. So it's never not going to be funny that he missed weight for a heavyweight fight. Like it is one of the funniest things that could possibly happen. It's dumb. It's not his fault. Why do you have a weight limit for heavyweight? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I still don't understand why there's a weight limit for heavyweight. I don't get it. But yeah, but that's all. Just having that's just something that's going to be funny forever. Because it is so silly that he missed weight for a heavyweight. Like, it makes no fucking sense. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, no, he's obviously a beast, man. I love watching him fight, and he's a heavyweight that packs a lot of power and is obviously very experienced in the striking realm as well. Same with his brother, and that's another thing too. Like, all his brothers are all fucking huge men themselves and just giant dudes that can pack some punches and are very experienced. So yeah, I think Junior Tough is still running from me, even though I called him out. Remember, I called him out and it never came to fruition. Nah. But no, they're obviously, what more do you want, right? You got a brother that's in the UFC with you now and who's also very experienced, and that's someone that's pushing you constantly and is, getting after it with you. So keeping you on your toes. So yeah, it's no surprise when you see, Justin get in there and compete, because he's just a beast, man. And when he finds that opening, he's going to shut your lights out. Like we saw that in February, and he's going to do it again going into this one. I'm very confident he's going to get a first-round finish.
Yeah, it looks like a good matchup for him, but yeah, could go either way, like you say, with the heavyweights. Who knows? Yeah, one shot, and that could be all she wrote. But it is interesting when you bring up the heavyweight limit. We've never really talked about this on this podcast, but why is that a thing? Like, if they were going to bring in a super heavyweight division or something like that, I could kind of understand it, but surely they could just, I don't know, even if you just make it 300 pounds or something like that, just to, why are people cutting weight to fight at heavyweight? I don't know. Yeah,
why are you making poor Mark Hunt wear a fucking sweatsuit when he's like 50 years old in the UFC and he's like, you're making him cut weight? Like, what are you doing? This is dumb. Like, yeah, you're making people cut, like Francis Ngannou, the dude's got to cut weight to make 260. Like, it's dumb. It's just dumb. Just weigh whatever you want to weigh and let me get in there and fight.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I'd love to know what the theory is behind that. If anyone knows, hit us up
if you're
at
an
Talk Down Under on Instagram.
100%. If you're involved in some way, if the Nevada Athletic Commission want to get in touch and let us know what the story is behind that, because I have no idea. I don't get it.
Yeah, look, I'm sure the Nevada State Athletic Commission will be keeping a close eye on the podcast. So I'm sure they're listening to this right now. So let us know. Slide into our DMs.
Yeah, nah.
We've also got Jack Jenkins is in action this weekend. A former would-be foe of yours. He's obviously gone on to the UFC, and he's been ultra impressive so far. He's made the transition really well, and he's carried the skills that sort of brought him through the ranks on the local scene, into the UFC. This time he's taking on Jamal Emmers. So yeah, what do you make of Jack's this matchup for Jack?
We spoke about it off air. He's a $2.60 underdog going into this fight, which is fucking stupid, but also good for us. So, hey guys, I don't encourage gambling, but go and bet some fucking money on this guy. Call your wife, call your accountant, call everyone, bet the house. $2.60, that's free money. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing right now? You're giving away free money. Jack's going to go out there and beat the fuck out of this dude. Because, don't get me wrong, this guy's had a few UFC fights and, he's got a bit more experience, like, fight-wise or whatever, but, like, he prefers to get his work done on the feet. And unfortunately, if you want to just stand on the feet without mixing in the mixed martial arts fight, Jack's probably going to kick your leg into a million pieces and beat the fuck out of you. Like, So I don't know. It seems like a silly mistake on the odds makers' behalf to do that. But yeah, I think Jack's just gonna piece this dude up, man. I think he's gonna just damage him, hurt him, and end up putting him away within the second round. I think second round he's gonna stop him with a. I'm gonna go head kick. I'm gonna go left high kick for a knockout. So if you want to make a bet on Jack to win. If you want a specific bet, go round 2 knockout. I think he's gonna piece this dude up.
Yeah, I reckon he just chews out the leg and then goes high and puts him away.
Yeah, exactly. And then even if, he needs to grapple and wrestle, like he's shown he's got grappling and wrestling as well, man. Like he's obviously well-rounded. He trains at a good gym. He's got good training partners. Like, I'm sure he's being tested in all areas, So like 100%. Obviously he prefers to get his job done on the feet. And if you stand in front of that dude and you're not presenting other problems to him, like if you're not giving him things to worry about, he's going to fucking kick your leg really hard and it's going to suck. So Jamal Emmers better be thinking about doing something, because if he stands there and tries to have a kickboxing fight, he's going to get fucking melted.
Yeah, I hope he's been working on his leg checking, because that's going to be pretty important, I would have thought, against Jack. But I enjoyed how you said that, hey, I don't encourage gambling, and then you went on to implore our listeners to bet the house on Jack Jenkins.
Not just your house, bet your neighbor's house, bet everything you have. But don't do it. Like, don't gamble. But if you're going to gamble, this is one of those times, right, where, you kind of have to. Like, you kind of have to jump at it. Like, everyone I've spoken to about this fight is like, yeah, I got money on him. So, like, yeah, like, let's just do it, man. Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's go get bank loans and just bet the house. Just go. Just bet everything. Sell the car. Don't worry. You're going to be covered. You're going to make all the money. So,
yeah.
Jack, don't let us down. No, I'm joking. He's going to kill it. So we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine.
Yep. Yeah, looks like it. Where does Jack sit? Obviously he wins. If he gets the job done against Emmers, where do you see him sitting? Like, is this guy on the brink of sort of the rankings? Is this guy good enough to sort of go, sort of run through the rankings and up to the top 5, like as we speak right now, or where does Jack Jenkins sit?
Yeah, I'd say after this fight, give him someone in the top 15 to give him a chance to break into the top 15, and then obviously you can, once you're in the top 15, then you can ask for someone in the top 10 and then start working your way up. But of course, if you, at the end of the day, you've got to go out there and perform. And if you're, keep being impressive in your performances, you're going to get those, you're going to get to shoot up those rankings a bit faster. But it makes sense to fight someone that's inside the top 15, whoever's 15, 14, 13, 12, like that, those names, like that's who you'd probably want for your next one, I'd imagine.
Yeah, definitely. In the PFL this weekend, it's all happening this week. We've got Shane Mitchell is continuing in the welterweight season against Sadibou Sai. Obviously, Shane lost a decision in his first fight. Sadibou Sai won by knockout in his in his first fight of the season. So it's really kind of backs against the wall really for Shane Mitchell. He's going to have to pull one out of the bag. We've seen in these PFL seasons, if you sort of lose your first fight, it can be a long way back. So he's really probably going to pull out the win here. And how do you reckon the matchup looks?
Dangerous fight. Obviously, and especially in that division, like every fight's going to be like that almost. And but he needs, I'd say he needs a first round finish of some sort of knockout, TKO submission in the first round. So, and the faster he can do that in the first round, the better it's going to be for him. Obviously, at the end of the day, he just needs a win. But if he can get it in the first round and get a finish, then obviously he's going to get max points and he's going to be able to, the first fight will kind of be less impactful on the rest of the season, if you know what I'm saying. So, it's a dangerous fight, but Shane's definitely got the potential to go out there and do exactly that. I think this first fight that he had, he lost the decision, but that whole experience of being your first fight overseas, the whole process of doing all that, probably trying to just find your feet. Now he knows what to expect. I think he's going to come out there and he's going to, compete to the standard that he's capable of, competing at. So I could see him definitely going out there and performing, but at the end of the day, this is a dangerous fight. You got to be on. He's going to have to be on point throughout, because at any moment, either one of these guys could shut each other's lights out. So. Yeah, I'm excited. I think he's going to go out there and kill it. I think he's going to go out there and put this dude away. Hopefully he does it in the first round so he can maximize on the old point system and then move forward with a lot more momentum.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to probably need a finish at some point, isn't he? If he wins this fight on points, then he's probably going to have to finish the next one. So it's probably going to take a bit of pressure off if he can finish this time around, because you probably don't really want to go into the last fight of the season needing to put someone away in the first round, because that's a lot of pressure, and that'll probably cause you to sort of I guess vary your game plan to look for that finish. We know that can be a dangerous ploy.
Yeah, you don't want to be in a situation where you're like, fuck it, I'm going to go out there and swing and bang in the pocket because I need to try and get a finish. Like, you don't want to force a finish. Like, finishes often will just get presented to you, but at the end of the day, like you said, if you can take away the urgency of needing to get one, if you can go out there this weekend and just, be fortunate enough to starch this dude in the first round or catch a submission, then it's going to be way better for him.
Absolutely. Now, while we're talking PFL, obviously the news has come out it came out a couple of weeks ago that Rob Wilkinson had failed a drug test, a PED test. Now, obviously some more details have come to light now. We sort of reserved our judgment at the time. But he's tested positive for elevated testosterone. He's been suspended for 9 months, fined $7.5 grand plus fees, which take it up to about $8.5 grand. Suspension is backdated, so it looks like the suspension will be completed by the 1st of January. So he'll be good to go in time for the 2024 PFL light heavyweight season. So. Does it feel like a bit of a slap on the wrist, this one? Like, obviously we've got an idea of what's happened here. He's essentially $992,000 in the black, as we as we discussed off air the other day. So, what do you make of the sort of Rob Wilkinson situation? Yeah,
obviously, like you and I spoke about this when the news first came out, and we it didn't look good initially, and we were like, nah, we'll wait and see, because we'll take our moment to like let it all come out and see what the go is. And then we obviously noticed that he deleted all the socials and things went a bit weird, and that's never a good sign. So we were spot on. And now he's come out and put a post up after they announced that he's been suspended and the fines and the length of time and all that sort of shit and what it was for. He's come out and put a post up admitting to wrongdoing or whatever. Confirming that, in fact, was legit and all that sort of stuff. But now I can talk about it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. You're a fucking gronk, man. You are putting up a post admitting to doing the wrong thing with a fucking Australian flag draped over your shoulder. And then you got all these fighters in the comments being like, oh, good on you, bro. Like, fucking, yeah, good on you, man. You're a legend, Rob. You're a nice guy, man. Like, you're a good guy, bro. This is good to see. Yeah, you're patting this dude on the back for doing the wrong fucking thing. Fucking test every single fighter in that dude's comments that's giving him props. Go and test every single one of those dudes. You're like, why are you putting up a photo with an Australian flag draped over your shoulder being like, oh, I'm sorry, I did the wrong thing. Yeah, what's the incentive for you to not do that again? You got a 9-month suspension and you got an $8,000 fine. So what are we doing? What are we doing? Are we just gonna fuck it? Just might as well put a post up saying, hey, go and do whatever you want, because the risk to reward is just going to be in your favor. It's just fucking stupid, man. Like, it's embarrassing. It's stupid. If you're a weak-minded individual to have to do that in the first place, and I don't care if you're a fucking light heavyweight, middleweight, I don't give a fuck, man. Like, you're a gronk. You're a gronk, and all these people that are like I'm sure he's a lovely guy, and everyone that I've spoken to about him says he's a nice guy and he's a cool guy, and everyone that's dealt with him. That's cool. You can be a nice guy, but you're still a grub that did the wrong thing, and now you're trying to get your you're trying to virtue signal by putting up a post admitting to it. But everyone in the comments is just like, oh, good on you, man. Like, whatever, man. Like, you're a good guy, Rob. Like, well, you'll be back from this. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, where's the people that are like? Why aren't you the people next to you or whoever's around you being like, hey, man, maybe don't put a fucking photo up with you with the Australian flag out over your shoulder and be like, oh, I've been thinking about how to talk about this and what to say. Like, mate, just fucking, it's simple. Put a post up of you holding your belt, or I don't know, doing like you in the gym and just being like, hey, man, I fucked up. Shouldn't have done it. I don't need anyone's sympathy. Don't need anyone's support. Don't need like people trying to fucking pat me on the back. I'm an idiot. I did the wrong thing. I'm going to fucking deal with what's been happening, like deal with what's been given to me, and I'm going to move forward. Just own up to it, and then that's it, and move forward. Don't fucking put up a post being like, oh, I'm sad about this. I don't know how to, like, I was going to talk about it, and, oh, poor me. Fuck you, bro. And if you have a problem with what I'm saying, by all means, anytime you're in Australia, anytime you're around, come see me. I don't care how fucking big you are. I'll take to your face you're wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think essentially that's pretty much what he sort of put forward in the in his post. Like, you know, I think I will give him some props. Like, I think he's kind of, you know, he's sort of accepted responsibility. Obviously, it's you know, he's only accepting responsibility because he got caught, which is sort of the way it goes. But you know, he sort of accepted responsibility, and you know, he did sort of say, you know, he's going to. You know, sort of move forward and looking forward to getting back to what he loves, and, you know, come back stronger and all those sorts of things. And Rob is one of the nicest guys that I've dealt with in this industry, and I was genuinely surprised when I found out that you know, something sort of dodgy had been going on behind the scenes. I just didn't sort of. I think you know, he looks incredible, you know, physically, you know, moving up to light heavyweight. So it's probably not that much of a shock, you know, on that front. But from him personally, I was pretty surprised with you know, that sort of went down. But I guess now, you know, the fighters are finding out the hard way that PFL are sort of testing properly. I don't know if they've sort of ramped up their testing protocols now since last season, or whether this is something that Rob and you know, Tiago and some of the others that got suspended have just started doing this season. I imagine that's probably not the case. I think there was 10 of them that have been caught and suspended. So I imagine there's been some sort of a change in the testing procedures, and now they're all getting caught out. So I guess they know now. So maybe, you know, that'll sort of clean up the PFL. Yeah,
I mean, like, fuck, man, you can be like the nicest person in the world, but if you fucked up, you fucked up. Just like, you know, and like, yeah, I do admire the fact that he's acknowledged it and gone, you know, yeah, I messed up, I did the wrong thing. But it's just the way you've gone about it, and then the fact and the way that people are carrying on, and like, it's like, fuck, it's just embarrassing, man. And the photo you used, why did you pick a photo with that? What? Why that photo? Why? Bro, it's just fucking embarrassing. Like, I don't know. It's just silly. Like, it's embarrassing. That's all I have to say. It's embarrassing, and I'm glad I'm not. But yeah, I don't even know why you'd want to be in that situation. The whole thing's just bananas to me, especially after Tiago popping. You came out and you're like, yeah, you need steroids to beat me, and then you get popped for elevated testosterone levels. Like, the whole thing's just embarrassing. But you know what? It is what it is, man. It's always going to be a part of the sport. There's always going to be people that are going to try and do it. And yeah, it's not going to go away magically, but you know, it is what it is. And if they keep getting caught, they keep getting caught, and that's just how it goes. So yeah, we'll see him next season, and hopefully by then he's done a bit of growing up and woken up to himself, and he's just, you know, gets in there and does his thing without any special assistance.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, like, the statement itself and owning up to it, you know, that's kind of admirable. But like you kind of touched on there, it doesn't take away the fact that he's done the wrong thing. So, you know, he's obviously going to sort of take his, you know, he's got to cop his sort of suspension and sort of expulsion from this season and all those sorts of things on the chin. And there's always going to be that asterisk now. Like, it really is sort of a hit to a fighter's legacy, isn't it? When they get popped, like, people always wonder, like, how long has this been going on? You know, is he, you know, when he won the season, was he on stuff? You know, who knows? And yeah, people are always going to wonder, and it's always going to be over his head. Like, if he aspires one day to go to the UFC or you know, move on to, you know, do other things, then there's always going to be that question mark. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a black mark. And
like, I'm not trying to. This isn't like to defend the guy or anything like that, but let's just call it what it is. Like, you probably knew that all these other people are in it, so you're like, fuck it, I'm going to do it too. And you didn't get caught, and you got through the entire last season. Who knows if you were doing it then or not? I don't know, but you didn't get caught, so you were like, fuck it. And then you saw other people that you were like pretty confident. Maybe you got told by people when you're in America, or maybe you just, you know, I don't know. Maybe you're just like, fuck it, they're on it, so I'm going to do it. and you didn't get caught and whatever. But you know, your justification for yourself was they're doing it, so I'm going to do it too. Fuck it. That's not a defense or anything, but I could see maybe that's potentially what guided him to do that. The whole thing's just dumb to me, man. Like, I don't know. It's something that I'll never have to worry about or deal with, and it's something that I'm glad I don't have to worry about or deal with. It's just like, how do you, like, it seems like a lot of effort, man. This sport's hard enough as it is. Like, it seems like to add an extra layer of shit that you have to worry about and be on top of, like, fuck, man. Like, this just seems like too much. Like, what? So you got to go train, worry about your conditioning, and then you got to worry about what you're eating and drinking and staying hydrated, and then you got to worry about injury prevention, and then you're worrying about what you got training that day, and then, I better go and take my fucking testosterone, bro. Like, most of these fucks can't remember to take their fucking multivitamin in the morning, bro. That's another thing you got to worry about. Like, it's just too much. So, I don't know. But, you know, it's done. It's dusted. He's got his punishment. You know, so it is what it is. We just move on.
Yeah, and it's a lot of risk as well, isn't it? Like when you're taking something like that, you know, you go to a big promotion. Who knows what's going to happen with the testing? I mean, maybe they knew that the testing in PFL hadn't been up to scratch, or maybe they thought that they were going to get away with it. But you know, all it takes is one sort of change without notice, you know, behind the scenes from the promotion or the commission or whoever's running the testing regime, and that's it. You're done, and it's just I guess the cost is. Like the cost in terms of legacy is large, but obviously the financial cost, you know, maybe not so much. You know, it's probably worked out at the end of the day, hasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that they have like set things that they're allowed to hand out or stuff like that. But like we sort of said, now it's happened. He's gotten his fine. He's gotten his suspension. So, you know, that's it. You just got to it's been dealt with, I guess. And then that's it. You just move on.
Yeah, and I think we might move on from there. So obviously, in the boxing world, Tim Tszyu has defended his interim WBO title, and he wasn't really in a mood to fuck around. In the end, he only spent 77 seconds disposing of Carlos Ocampo, who looked to be an interesting test for him on paper. He looked like he was a guy who was going to test him and sort of get a few rounds out of him, but that did not prove to be the case. So what did you make of Tim Tszyu's performance?
Yeah, I don't know if he just like was out the back and then just thought, fuck, maybe I'll just go out there and fight like my brother. But he just came out and was swinging bombs. He did not look like he wanted to be in there for any longer than what he was. So, yeah, it was sick. He's killed it. He was fucking landing some bombs, man. He was landing some hard shots. Took a couple too, but he was just powered on and was able to get the job done. So, but I like it, man. I like that he just took another fight and staying active and not just waiting for Charlo, and he's just going to go out there and do his thing. So it was cool. I love that, man. I love it when fighters come in with that energy, like, I'm going to come in, I'm going to fuck you up, and I'm going to get out of there. And that's what he did. Like, just came in, threw bombs, got the job done, and bounced out of there, slid out of there with a paycheck.
Yeah, he just backed himself in, didn't he? He just, like you say, he could have sat back and waited for Charlo. That's probably a big payday that's waiting for him, but he wants to stay active, and he also could have taken a tune-up fight. He could have just taken, I don't know, he could have picked someone off the local scene, or flown someone in from the Philippines or something. I don't know, but just I don't know why I picked the Philippines, but he could have just flown someone in with a 50-50 record and just put someone away. But in the end, he's picked a guy who was ranked, and and he took him out, and he was just keen to have a fish afterwards. I don't know if you saw the pictures on social media. I think 45 minutes after the fight finished, he was on a jetty out the back of their sort of rented house up there in Queensland having a fish. So yeah, man, if a man's got a fish, and a man's got a fish.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, he had something better to do, so he was like, I gotta go get out of there real quick. And it's it gave me like when I saw that gave me sort of like a feel of like when Mighty Mouse was he was streaming on Twitch, and then had to go defend his title against Cejudo. Just slid in there, beat the shit out of Cejudo, and then went back and kept streaming. So like, just had something better to do. So he was just like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, good on him, and well earned as well. Well earned. So now it's just we just wait on Charlo, don't we? We don't really know what's happening with his hand. I think Tim he put forward a date in September or October. I think he mentioned in the ring afterwards. So, but we don't know if Charlo's going to be ready for that or not.
Yeah, just a waiting game. But obviously he's not going to be ready. I'm sure he'll find something else to do. he'll find another fight or just keep going.
Yeah, do you reckon he takes another one? If Charlo says, hey, I'm
not ready.
I'm not going to be ready till February next year or something like that, do you reckon he tries to sneak in another?
I reckon 100% he will. He'll try and get another one in. Try and just keep it going.
Yeah, there you go. Sam Goodman as well had a good win. It looks like he's he's on his way to a world title fight against Marlon Tapales, who's the IBF junior featherweight champion. I'm not going to pretend to know anything about Tapales, but Goodman looks solid, and it'll be interesting to see how he goes. What do you reckon?
Yeah, no, like that's going to be, obviously, that'd be cool. Another person that's just killing it. He looked good, looked real good in there, and killed it. So now he's mandatory, right? He's mandatory for IBF. So I think that's going to be cool to see how they put that together and where it takes place and how quickly they decide to do that. So you know how it is in boxing, man. Like there's so much little things to figure out behind the scenes. So, but hopefully we see him in there sometime later this year and fighting for a world title.
Hopefully we can bring it to Australia as well. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know if Sam got it. He might have gotten enough eyeballs now, having sort of fought on a Tim Tszyu undercard here, to be able to kind of justify. Obviously, it's going to take a bit of money to bring someone like Tapales into Goodman's backyard to defend his title. But hopefully he got enough buzz from that fight to be able to bring him over.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll figure something out. I'm sure that most of these combat sports now are seeing that there's value in coming to Australia and putting on shows. So. Yeah, certainly. Obviously, it's going to cost them a few bucks, but I'm sure they can figure something out.
Absolutely, and probably the other fight that kind of stood out on that card was as Rocky Ogden and Mark Schliebs. It was an interesting little sort of grudge that kind of emerged in fight week. The back and forth between those two, and Rocky Ogden got the had the last laugh. I think it was a first round knockout in the end, so it was pretty. Pretty resounding in the end after Schleibs. He certainly talked a big game.
Yeah, he ran his mouth. He said some interesting things in the press conference and in the lead up, and obviously there was a lot of back and forth between the boys. But Rocky just beat the shit out of him, bro. He dropped him 3 times, and the ref waved it off. So that's pretty rough, man. Like, and if you go that far with the trash talk in the lead up, and you say some shit like he was saying, but he was saying some really he was saying some interesting things, and then he took it a bit far at a few points. Like he was saying some really out of line things, and so I think Rocky had a bit of extra incentive to go out there and punch his face in, which is exactly what he did. He sat him down 3 times, and that was it. That's all she wrote.
He sure did. Yeah, he just had a chip on his shoulder, I think Rocky, and he put him away. I
mean, and that's the game you're playing when you take it to a certain point. Like someone might have a calculated game plan for the fight, but if you take it to a certain point, the game plan is just going to be like, I'm going to come and hit you very, very hard until you don't want to be there anymore. And that's exactly what that was. Like, I don't think the game plan was for him to come in and try and finish the fight that quickly and finish it in the first round. I think they were going to sort of, do their thing like we've seen him in other fights, find his openings, make his reads. But he just came out and was throwing bombs and was like, I'm going to fucking hurt you. So that's cool. I like when that shit happens.
Absolutely, yeah. It was a fun card. So we've got a little bit of time left over. We might dig into some fan questions here. We've got quite a backlog. We haven't done any in a little while. So we've got a few on the list here that have probably left over from last year, but some of them are still relevant. So the first one comes from Anthony Poloni. He's obviously a fixture of the community up in Wollongong, from what I understand. But Anthony asks, I just want to know if the rumours are true that Lockjaw, now that he has a belt, it's become a permanent fixture on him. There's been rumours of a sighting at Woolies with it wrapped around the belt wrapped around your waist while doing groceries. So, I mean, come on, Lockjaw, really.
Look, I'll say this, all right? I might have briefly had it with me when I was just walking past the gym, in Windang, walking down the road waving at cars. I think, that was like, it was the day after, I was still a high on the wind, but in terms of a fixed sort of part of my daily attire, not really. No, that is fake news. That is fake news. But yes, I have taken it in public maybe once, we'll say. Maybe twice.
I don't believe you, but we'll move on. But moving on to the next one. The next one comes from Matthew Kindred. He's a amateur fighter down here in Melbourne. I think he might train at Bones MMA. I might have that wrong, but anyway, shout out to Matthew. He sent through a few questions, so I thought we'd finally put one of his on the table. And obviously this one's a little bit outdated, but his question was, what are your top 3 to 5 fights that you want to see in 2023? That's on the local scene. He put together a few matchups of
good ones,
his own, and there were some bangers in there too. He put together Caleb Rideout versus Kit Campbell. Not mad at that one.
Not mad at that.
Blake Donnelly versus Josh Togo. Also not mad about that one. Joey Luciano versus Kevin Jusset. Not mad about that one. Those two are possibly sort of moving on to bigger and better things, but not mad at that matchup.
We could see that in like a top promotion. Joey's based out of Oz. Kevin's based out of New Zealand. It's not, weirder things have happened. It could happen.
Absolutely, and Dim Skillies versus Raja Shippen was the other one he put on the table too. So, obviously Raja's having a bit of trouble getting to the cage at the moment with some injury issues. But if they could get those two fit and healthy, that'd be a banger as well.
Yeah, I like that fight. That's a cool fight. Obviously, Raja had like bicep surgery or whatever it was, and Dimps is still, I think, just now recovering from his hand injuries from the Coon fight. So, yeah, that could be a banger. And especially if that could take place at featherweight, that could be a banger of a fight.
Absolutely. Then so what are yours? Have you got any sort of bouncing around in your head that you'd love to see? There's obviously heaps of fights that would be cool. But going off where we're at now, obviously it would have been different a few months ago. But going off where we're at now, I'd like to see Diego versus Muhammad Alavi. Yeah,
I reckon that'd be a banger fight. I'd like to see Jarrett Wilbraham, my teammate, fight Abdullah Biata. I reckon that'd be a banger. I like that fight. Stylistically, that fight just seems like it'd be so sick because Jarrett's crazy, wild style that he has, and obviously Abdullah's long, lanky, very dangerous. Knows how to use his weapons that it's presented to him. So that'd be a cool fight.
That'd be wild.
One that's not going to happen that would have been cool to see, but I know already that it's not going to happen because I spoke to all parties involved. Brenton Mumford versus Antonio Caruso. That would have been a fucking banger of a fight to see play out.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd like to see probably more of both boys no, they probably both have to go pro first for it to happen. But I'd like to see. So, they are pro. Both are pro now. Sorry, what am I talking about? I'd like to see Gauchi versus Haddon. That'd be a cool fight too.
That was booked, wasn't it?
That was booked, but obviously, Gauchi got injured. I think he's got an injury that he's not eligible, or he had an injury, but it's a weird. Yeah, I don't know if he was like still recovering, but obviously, and then he was waiting to see what happens if something else was coming along because I think he's like 7-1 and he's got a win over Stephen Erceg. I think Colby was talking to me about it the other day. So that's good. That's a good thing to have in your, that's a good feather to have in your cap, especially with Erceg going into the UFC and dominating someone in the top 10 like straight off the bat. Yeah. So and obviously with Haddon, his only loss is to Erceg as well. So there's a few that's another fight that could be a banger. Well, there's so many that you could throw together. Like there's just, and some have already been put together and are playing out. Like you got Martinez versus Joblin happening, which we'll go into next week. But that's a cool fight. That's a cool fight. Now that you got Quinlan as the champ, the lightweight champ, you could give me Quinlan versus Togo. You could give me, Quinlan versus the winner. You could give me Becker and Quinlan. That's a banger. Yeah, Becker be ready to get back in there. I think he's back training. And back nearly ready to go. So, there's a bunch of exciting fights. We could see more maybe, like you said, Kit Campbell versus Rideout when he's healed. That could be a dope fight. Emrahan and Colby, obviously. I think all of Australia wants to see that fucking fight.
Yeah, that one's got a bit of buzz, hasn't it?
That one's got some hype, so that's going to be cool. That'll be cool. Emrahan and Colby. Shout out to my friend Emrahan. What's up, brother? Hope you're doing well. It's It's there's so many, man. Fuck, you could have even Jarrett and Dimps would be sick. Like just because Dimps is wild and crazy and just comes forward with those bombs, and Jarrett's fucking just a machine. He can't be in boring fights, and if you put him in a fight with someone who had a fight of the year against someone with Josh Kuhn, like what the fuck, man? Like what are we talking about? Like let's just have Jarrett fight another crazy wild fighter every week for like the next 7 weeks, and we'll just be stoked.
Yeah, sign me up.
And I'd like to see Josh Kuhn get back in there. Obviously, he's down at freestyle at the moment, so he's mixing it up, getting into it. So I'd like to see him back in there ASAP. I believe he's looking at the September cards.
Where's Josh at? Is he?
I believe
he's been injured. Or?
I think he's just been focusing on skilling up and just training, and then also he was enjoying like other the other sort of cool parts of life. Obviously, he's a dad. Got twin boys running amok, keeping him on his toes. So I think he took a bit of a time to sort of just enjoy life a bit, and then also just focus on skilling up and added some more things to his arsenal. So, but I think he's keen to get back in there in September. So, there's a few cool fights that you could possibly have depending on what he wants to do. But yeah, I'm excited to see him back in there. Obviously, Blake's just fought Quinlan, and things obviously didn't go his way. But I'd like to see Blakey back in there. So I like watching Blake fight. He's ridiculously talented too. So it'd be cool to see him back in there and see what he wants to do. You could give me one that I don't think it'll happen because I think they're friends. But my teammate Mitch Harmo versus Lachlan Stitt, I'd love to watch that.
Ooh.
I'd love to watch that fight.
Mitch pro now?
I believe he's going to go pro. He's overseas at the moment with Amino on holiday, but when he comes back, I believe he'll want to go pro because he's 6-0 as an amateur, all finishes. Makes sense for him to probably make sense for him to go pro now. But yeah, just a pro welterweight fight that would stand out to me would be Harmo and Stitt. That'd be a banger. That'd be a banger.
Absolutely, yeah. I was a bit bummed when Mumford versus Aguilera fell apart last time. That would have been kind of like a fun sort of veteran matchup. But I saw on social media, I can't remember who posted it, but someone posted a video with Brenton Mumford in it, and it looked like he might have done his like an ACL or something. They were like testing his ACL, and I'm not a physio, but it looked like it failed to me. So I don't know if you know anything about that.
No, we were just giving him shit the other day about he's just like he's just old and brittle, but that's just the banter between us. But no, he's out here. He's down at freestyle as well, so he's out here training at the moment. He's down here for Volks camp and that, so he's just fucking ready to scrap too. So I think he's looking at September as well. Be interested to see who he can get or what they throw together, if he wants to do September. But yeah, I think he's definitely keen to get back in there. So I hope we get to see him back in there. I like watching Brenton fight. He's also very exciting. Yeah,
okay. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah. Maybe if Aiden's about, I don't know what Aiden's up to at the moment, but if they could put that one together, that was just a fun matchup on paper. But all those ones you put together are bangers. Like obviously the lightweight division's a fun one, isn't it? With we've got Quillen as the champ now. There's always plethora of contenders there that are sort of queuing up and ready to have a go. So it's there's so much talent on the local scene at the moment. So it'd be there's plenty to look forward to.
Yeah, no, it's insane. Like the talent across the board from amateurs right to the pros is just crazy good. And there's a few dope fights that you can see get thrown together. So obviously next week we'll break down Eternal. We're going to go into that a bit more. There's a few cool fights on that are standing out. But no, there's so many potential like crazy good matchups. But a matchup or a fight that's currently still playing out that is an insane one that we're happy to see is leaning towards the person that we want to see win is Tim Schultz with his leg situation. The dude is walking. He is killing it. He is recovering. He's on the mend. So that's what I'm stoked about that. We people following along on social media. He put up a video the other day where he's like he took some steps like unassisted without any help or anything like that. So we love to see it. The dude's on the mend. So that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think I saw he's been discharged from hospital now.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah,
so, I think skin graft in a few weeks or something. So he's on the way. It's like it still looks pretty gnarly.
Long road,
but man,
Long road.
he's that's an incredible effort. Like it looked like at least that leg was gone for all money, and he's pulled through. And I guess the community kind of pulled together and sort of helped get him home. And it's a really cool story, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's insane. Like the dude's out here already, like just focused on recovering and that. Man, based on like when this initially first came out and some of the stuff that you saw and we spoke about this, like you said, it was like the safe money was on he's probably going to lose his leg, and we were like, man, this fucking poor guy. And a couple of weeks ago, if you'd asked me, I was like, I don't think we ever see him fight again. But looking at him now, looking at the videos he's putting up, looking at how he is, I reckon we'll see that dude fight again. Whether it's just in boxing, I think he's going to fight. I think he's going to fight again.
Yeah, it feels like he might. I mean, we don't know where his head's at. Like, obviously, fighting is probably the furthest thing from his mind at the moment with all the things that he's had to deal with. But he might follow in the footsteps of his teammate Dan Hill and head over to boxing.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, fuck, you don't need to get kicked in the leg in boxing, so fucking let's go. Get some gloves on the bloke and get him back in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Wouldn't that be a cool story as well? Just seeing him, seeing him sort of get back in the ring, and that'd be something that'd be a really cool story. But obviously, it's up to him what he wants to do and to see how the recovery goes from that leg.
Yeah, 100%. Like, obviously, if that's something that he down the line that he wants to get back into and he wants to fight again, mark it. We said it on Fight Talk Down Under. Tim Schultz is going to be back in there.
Absolutely. And Dan and Lockjaw are going to be back in there next week, of course, episode 43. As Lockjaw touched on there, we're going to preview Eternal 77, probably answer some more questions, and just recap all the Aussies that in the UFC, and Shane Mitchell, all the Aussies that are in action this weekend. So until then, let us know if you have a question. Our contact details are below, or if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening to the audio version, of course, it's at Fight Talk Down Under on Instagram. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Fight News Australia, and iHeartRadio. Lockjaw, what do you want to take us off with?
Man, stay tuned for next week's episode. I might be, coming live from a yacht in the Maldives after Jack Jenkins goes out there and wins with the bets that we're putting on. I might be living the lavish life. You don't know. So, but no, it's obviously like you said, like, subscribe, get behind it. Next week we're doing it again, and we're back rolling. We got some momentum now, so we're on. The boys are on.
I gotta watch it. You never know what might stop you. Here I am,